maybe we shouldn't save them. Maybe we should take care of our own before we help others. And then suddenly you have a really interesting question. What if these characters are battling this question? And what if they make the wrong decision?
Hi, Thor.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. Getting kind of excited for Christmas. Got my Christmas tree up. Trying to enjoy this festive season.
Absolutely. Me too. I have the Christmas tree at home. So thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to meet you. And first, I want to congratulate you on this is your feature director debut.
Yes.
So, and amazing. Congratulations on that. So I want to know the main inspiration for the story because
Mm.
you're the one that t- let's do a movie about this.
Yeah. It's like 8 years ago. I was living in a small seaside village in Iceland in the West Fjords where this film is shot, and I got snowed in for like I don't know how long. My car got snowed in. I was stuck. I was there for 3 months. I wasn't snowed in for 3 months, but I was snowed in. And I started writing this story and memories of the ghost stories we were told as children. Icelanders love to scare the kids. Of course, why not give them nightmares? And the kind of the mythology of the Draugur. Draugur roughly translates in modern Icelandic to a ghost. But back in the day, a ghost wasn't this thing that could go, through walls. It was actually like a rotting corpse has come back to get revenge on the people that wronged them. So it's actually closer to a zombie of sorts. And I think when you just think about that, that's a very scary image to have in your head. And then there's the idea, the history of wrecking, where the Icelanders would sometimes turn off lighthouses and move a light to another cliff and make ships hit the rocks. And then they would pillage what they could, because Iceland used to be such a poor country. It used to be almost like a third world country before the Second World War. So you have all of these things, and then slowly an interesting question bubbles up of, if you had these group of people that are snowed in, they're running low on rations, they see these poor foreigners drowning in the ocean, and they want to go out and save them, but then they stop and say, if we save these poor foreigners and we bring them back, we barely have enough food for ourselves. Maybe we shouldn't save them. Maybe we should take care of our own before we help others. And then suddenly you have a really interesting question. What if these characters are battling this question? And what if they make the wrong decision?
Exactly.
And thus horror comes.
Exactly. So I also liked it because you use a lot of like practical effects.
Yes.
How much did you balance that? Because I bet you have CGI in some of the scenes, but how much you have that balance on the final cut of the movie?
I love films that feel real, that feel tangible, that you can feel the mucus or the blood or the guts. You can kind of feel it, and so it's very important to me. And also, I knew for actors, if we have real blood, if we have real slime, if we have real eels, if we have these things. Actually, I didn't have real eels. I wanted real eels, but then you start from a point of, if we have as many things as real as possible, it helps the actors to give the best performance possible, and then also for the audience to really immerse them in the world. And then, of course, you have to often enhance with the effects and stuff like that. But the main thing is how do you get the audience to feel that this is a real world? And I believe that by doing everything as practical as possible, you're immersing them in the world.
Yes, and let's talk a little bit about Odessa
Yes.
Young. What was
Yes.
about her and her previous work that made you pick her to be the protagonist?
It was a great collaboration. You know, I had seen almost all of her previous work. We had a cup of coffee. One of the things that I thought which was very interesting about all her previous work was the versatility. And you see. In her work, that you see very big, flamboyant characters. You see very small, introverted characters. And when I met her, she was yet another, obviously, character herself. And I just, I was very drawn to her. And she's a very, very fine actress. She is also a fantastic person to have around because, as you know, when you're finding collaborators, it's a marriage, and sometimes it can be a horrible marriage, but luckily I think it was a great marriage, and I'm really happy with the result that we have.
That's amazing. Also, as a filmmaker, like this is your director debut, what was like your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge was, how do you block 7 actors in every scene? They're walking around. This one's doing this, that one's doing that. And you're trying to, where do I put the camera? You have so many pieces moving. I had no clue that that would become like a thing where like I have to figure out, because you can't just have people standing still through a whole scene. People have an inner life, they're doing stuff. And then how do we show that with the camera? So I don't know how these directors that are doing like a Knives Out or an Agatha Christie thing where you have to have like 10 characters and all of them are moving. You almost have to sit down and draw it. It's so out of all the logistical weather things, all the crazy stuff that we had to do, just how do I capture so many people moving in a frame and not making it feel confusing for the audience. That was for me personally very difficult, and a great school in learning that. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thor, this is the time that I have with you. I just want to thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to meet you, and I hope
Yes.
everybody liked the movie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share the videos.